Someone asked this question not too long ago and I loved it. How would I approach learning English if I was starting now? If you're ready to find out, stay tuned. So if we're talking about the beginning stages, the very beginning stages where you don't know anything at all, which is impossible because you're watching this video, but just in case, let's pretend like you don't know anything at all. Obviously, you need to start with the alphabet, your ABCs, and what sounds those letters make, right? And, you know, I would go into details of every possible sound. Obviously, you're not going to learn it completely from the start, but you will at least get familiar with the concept of, you know, how it works. A, you know, what sounds can this letter? And the trickiest thing here obviously is going to be the vowels, because I mean it's kind of complicated. English is not a phonetic language, so it could get a little messy. Once again, it doesn't have to be perfect. You don't have to know everything. You just have to be familiar enough and aware of the situation that one vowel can make multiple different sounds, and just leave it at that. Step number 2, of course, is greetings. Introducing yourself in the most basic way. Hi, hello, my name is, I am from, nice to meet you. Very simple. You just got to get comfortable with that stuff. Of course, after that, you're going to go into more basics like saying thank you, asking for something and saying please, right? And you would just literally learn those expressions. You're not going to think too much about the grammar of it. You're not going to think too much about the words that are being used. Of course, you're going to learn the words within the expressions, right? But just focus on the expressions. This is me asking for help. Can you help me, please? Just learn it as this fixed thing and nothing else. Don't overthink it. And try to use it and have those little, you know, have a little arsenal of tourist expressions that you can, you know, pull out anytime. Within those basic expressions, you are going to encounter basic verbs like do, make, take, get, say, and so on. Next step is to focus on those and really learn them and really understand what they mean and try to use them as much as you can within different situations and scenarios, right? Plus, you know, basic verbs like have, can, to show ability. It's time to start working on that vocabulary, and that's the next step. You already have some expressions. Now you're gonna pull some words out of there and study those. Next, you're gonna start exploring different parts of speech, what adjectives are, and what some examples of those are, like good, or bad, or beautiful, or ugly, right? And it's always good to contrast those, right? Good, bad, beautiful, ugly, fast, slow. And then you learn that adjectives work with the nouns. What are nouns? Student, person, man, woman, guy, girl, dog, cat, you know, things or ideas, and you will learn what each part of speech does and what they are responsible for, and that'll make a little more sense of those expressions and sentences that you started learning in the very beginning. Can you help me, right? Can is a verb, you is a pronoun, help is a verb, and then me again is a pronoun. It makes sense. See, you're learning something first that you don't really know about, and then you start investigating and exploring. We're sort of like reverse engineering the language and doing it sort of backwards. Then the last step before we actually start doing some crazy stuff is understanding a basic structure of a sentence and what role each part plays. Subject, verb, object, right? Subject is the main character of the sentence that performs the action, which is the verb, and object is the one that receives that action or responds or reacts to the action. I love you. I is the subject, love is the action that I is performing, and then you is the receiver of the action, aka the object. Once you make sense of that, it'll be much easier for you to, again, analyze and break down those expressions that you learned earlier. And now you're ready to move on to some real stuff. Grammar is the glue that holds everything together. So that's something you need to learn. And, a really good way to do that is starting with present simple, or the simple tenses in general. You can learn how to talk about your routine or any other habitual activities. Like my morning routine, I wake up at 7 a.m., I brush my teeth, I shower, I eat breakfast, I go to work. Very basic, but you already know the elements, the words, and the structure, how it's built. Then how do I make a question in present simple? I like it. Do you like it? Or how do you make a negative sentence? I don't like it. And here you are introduced to the concept of auxiliary verbs as well. And you do the same thing for past simple and future simple. And this is your introduction to some real life grammar. And then you just continue along, just continue following along, exploring and unlocking more grammar. You pick up some more words along the way. You pick up some more expressions along the way, and you just absorb everything you can, right? This is the academic route. And of course, on the side, you are going to try to listen to English. You are going to try to write in English and read English as well. You are going to try all of that. And then you just keep going and you keep doing it until you can't do it anymore. And, at that point, something else will come up and you will explore some other things and some other ways to learn. Don't even worry about it. The starting point is the most difficult one. When I started learning English, I was a complete zero. I only knew the alphabet and a couple of words. And, maybe they weren't even that great. But I kept going, and it's important for you to keep going as well. And, your first goal is to just have some basics so you can say hello to people, ask, how are you? And reply and say goodbye and maybe ask a basic question. That's your first goal. Your second goal is to make that more comfortable and maybe build more on top of that. Your next goal is getting to intermediate, right? The intermediate level where you can pretty much do anything. It's fairly limited, but you can do pretty much anything. And after that, you're gonna keep building. You're gonna switch up your routine a little bit to get to that advanced level where you can actually do anything. And you just keep building and you keep learning, keep exploring. It's a lifetime journey. And it's important to enjoy it. Black Friday came early. November 15th through November 24th, we're doing a sale. 30% off all of our online courses. Start learning English now. One thing I can tell you for sure is as early as you feel comfortable, along the way, learn pronunciation. Really learn pronunciation. It is very important because, you don't have to mask your natural accent. You don't have to lose it. You don't have to speak just like any, American native speaker or whatever the case may be. But it's important to get the basics so that you are understood. You also understand the techniques to understand other people. And you feel more confident when you speak. When you like the way you sound, you want to speak more. And when you speak more, you practice more. And when you practice more, your English gets better, faster. So those little pronunciation, sort of like basics, techniques of this is the TH sound. To make a voiceless TH sound, you put your tongue, stick it between your teeth just a little bit and blow out air. Congratulations, now you can say think without any problems. You know what I'm saying? So stuff like that. A lot of teachers in schools tend to overlook that because it's not important. And, to an extent, from one point of view, maybe it's not the most important thing. But, we all know what it's like when you're so shy and embarrassed because you think you sound bad. And if you know you sound good, you have no problems communicating and practicing. And of course, the last thing and the most important thing is making it personal. Let me explain what I mean. When you learn English, it's always very distant. It's very academic, right? You read a book, right? Like a study book. You go along with the book and you know, you see all these exercises and these examples about Bob and Jessica, people you don't even know. And it's hard, right? It's very distant. You don't feel connected to it. So it's important to connect with it. The first chance you get, connect with it. Start making your own sentences about you and your life, your family and your friends and your problems and your issues and your feelings and emotions. It's so important. That's number one. Number two, do something in English for yourself in your free time, right? Of course, that's gonna come a little later when you're slightly, you know, higher in your level, maybe like starting with your intermediate levels and stuff. But if you like watching TV, maybe watch something in English. Or if you like watching YouTube videos, maybe watch them in English. If you like cooking or baking, maybe try to follow an English recipe, right? Not English like British, but like a recipe in English. If you want to learn a new skill, maybe try to Google it and do your research in English, right? So start doing something for yourself in the target language. It will be, it will be very special, and it'll do wonders for you because now you're really connecting with it on a personal, real human level. And that's when the most progress occurs. And this is a very basic layout of what your English learning journey should look like. Of course, I can go into more details. I don't think it's necessary though, because this process and this path is going to be different for each individual. But these are the basic, essential elements that you should definitely have in your process. Follow along and let me know in the comments down below what level you are now. If you have an estimate of what your level is. I'm very curious. And of course, you've been seeing it along this video. We have a lot of different courses that can help you guys with any of your needs, from elementary to intermediate, from intermediate to advanced. If you want to get that level boost, my pronunciation course, which I love, and it will help you a lot with your pronunciation. And all of those courses are 40% off right now. So this is your chance to step up your game and, grab something. And I hope to see you in one of those. Thank you guys so much. Good luck on your English journey. And if you want to watch another cool video, it's right here on the screen. Also, don't forget to subscribe if you haven't done that yet. And I hope to see you again very soon. Bye.